Hey guys, I'm Michael Hodges. Welcome to my home. Since Mother's Day is coming up, I was asked to provide you with a recipe of one of my favorite cakes. It is a strawberry shortcake cake. It's one of Mary Lynn's favorites, and it's one that my friends request most frequently. Pastor Adam has even mastered making this cake, and if he can do it, you can do it too. What could be better? It's a vanilla cake with strawberries and cream cheese frosting. In the South, we would say this is better than sliced bread. You're going to find the recipe in the description, so take a look at it and let's bake this cake. First, let's macerate some strawberries. What does that mean? It means cut them up, quarter them, slice them, however you prefer, mash them. Pour about 1/3 of a cup sugar on them, give them a quick stir, and then just let them set for 30 or 45 minutes, and they will just get nice and juicy. If you can't find fresh strawberries, buy a bag of frozen at your grocery store and let them thaw. So let's get your pan greased and ready for the oven. I'm using an 8-inch pan with a 2-inch lip on it. Give it a quick squirt of a cooking spray with flour. And here's a hint. If you have parchment paper, place the parchment paper, cut out a round, and put it in the bottom of your pan. Give it a quick spray, and it will make your cake come out much easier. If you don't have parchment paper, don't sweat it. It still will come out fine if your pan is well greased. Next, let's work on the cake. So I have all of my ingredients pre-measured here, but I have flour, cornstarch, baking soda, and salt. So let's get them all in the bowl, mix them together, and then we're going to give it a stir, and then we'll set it aside while we work on our wet ingredients. So in a mixer, I've put my softened butter and my sugar, about 1.5 cups of sugar, and I've let it mix for about 3 or 4 minutes until it's light and fluffy. Next, what we're going to do is add eggs one at a time until they're just mixed. We'll add our sour cream. We'll add our sour cream, and then we'll add our vanilla until it's well combined. And then we're going to very carefully mix in our flour or our dry ingredients into the wet mixture. Once that's done, we're going to mix that for just a little bit of time until it's well combined, but don't overbeat. After your cake batter is well combined, all you need to do is then get your greased pan and pour the cake batter into the pan, and then bake it for 45 to 50 minutes in a 350-degree oven. Once your cake is out of the oven and while it's still hot, what we need to do is get it out of the pan. So I have a wire rack here. Flip it over, take the pan away, and if your cake sinks just a little bit in the center, don't be too concerned. It will be fine. So while the cake is cooling, what you want to do is elevate this cake now by making a yummy cream cheese frosting. This stuff is so good, I want to eat it by the spoonfuls. So what you do is put your 2 sticks of butter in. You take 1/2 pound of the cream cheese. You're going to mix it until it's well blended. And then you're going to add about 5.5 cups of confectioner sugar into this. Hint, add your sugar very slowly. If you don't, you'll be wearing it. So slowly add it. And then what you want to do is once you have it all added, you put a little vanilla and the salt into it, and you mix it for about 5 minutes until it's really, really light and fluffy. So we're almost there now, guys. So we have the cake and it's cool. We also have the frosting that's made and ready to go. And so now what we need to do is get this cut in half this way. way. And once we have it cut in half, we're going to take it off. You'll see it's not a fussy cake at all. It's easy to handle, it's easy to use. We want to use 2 dinner plates. I'll tell you why in just a second. But we're going to put each half on a dinner plate, and then we're going to build up the edges with a little bit of frosting all the way around and make kind of a well in the middle. We'll talk about that in just a minute and why that's important. So we're just going to take a little bit of our frosting with some spoons, and we're just going to come around the edge of this and make a thin line as possible. Once we have that done, we'll put some fruit in the middle, and then I'll tell you the next secret. Okay, now we're going to take those macerated berries. You can see the really nice juices that have kind of come out of those berries. And what we're going to do is just layer up this cake with those juices inside of that wall that you built of the frosting. Make sure you get some of the juice into that layer. This is what makes it a strawberry shortcake cake. So let me tell you another little Hodges secret at this point. Once you have this finished and you have the berries inside, take this and put it in the freezer for about 5 to 7 minutes. The reason you do that, we're going to come back and frost over top of these berries before we layer them together. And this will make it much easier to frost if the berries are just a little cold and frozen. So now we're in the home stretch, guys. Here's what we're doing. We're going to frost both sides or both layers of these cakes. As you can see, you need to be careful in spreading them. So you frost the first layer, then you put the second layer on top of that. Voila, isn't that beautiful? You're going to frost that one as well. We're going to do the tops of this. You can take it and you can do the sides of your cake. But you know what I'm going to do right now is cut it and show you what the total looks like, total cake looks like. Make sure you keep this in the refrigerator, but set it out about 30 minutes before you really want to eat it. But this is the finished product, guys. Hope you enjoy it. Let me take a bite of it, and I'll tell you what I think about it here. You can see the juice is soaked into the cake just a little bit. This is actually one of those cakes that tastes better the second day after you make it than it does the first day. But it's pretty yummy now. Thank you, I hope you enjoy it. Happy Mother's Day.